Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 9 p.m. English News Edition. Here are the top stories. Arrival of the head of state in Ethiopia to take part in the 38th Ordinary African Union Summit and support his candidate. For international news, construction materials ready to enter Gaza from Egypt. The details in this news. Welcome to the newsroom, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned the title, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Al-Hadi Ismail Margele, arrived this afternoon in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia, to participate in the 38th Ordinary Summit of the African Union. The theme chosen for this summit is Justice for Africans and People of Africa, Decent Through Reparations. This 38th African Union Summit aims to endorse financial compensation requests from African populations who have been victims throughout history, particularly through colonization, slavery, apartheid, and racial abuses. In this regard, the summit will focus on the progress of African countries in terms of peace and stability, the imperative of achieving greater financial independence, and the sovereignty and economic integration of the continent. Another highly anticipated event is the election of a new chairperson of the African Union Commission, who will lead this Pan-African organization for a four-year term. The situation of peace and security in Africa, the food crisis related to armed conflicts, and climate change will also be major issues discussed at the summit of head of state and governments tomorrow. Upon his arrival at Addis Ababa International Airport, President Ismail Omar Gele was warmly welcomed by several Ethiopian government officials, including the Ethiopian Minister of Industry. The President is heading a strong ministerial delegation, including the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the Minister of Trade, the Minister of Agriculture, as well as the Minister of Transport, the Ambassador for Djibouti to Addis Ababa, His Excellency Mr. Abdi Mahmoud Aibe, and the President's diplomatic advisor, Mrs. Fatahi Jamauddin.
garasho garasha ugu jeexa gela wada muujiyo muujiyo hadiya jeer wadae inad waajibka gudatay bay idinki karayne jahantiyo wax qabad lagu najaxo garasho garasha ugu jeexa gela wada muujiyo muujiyo hadiya jeer wadae inad waajibka gudatay bay idinki karayne
And the African Union Summit hosted at the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, will open tomorrow with the 38th annual session. In an interview with Djibouti's ambassador to Ethiopia and permanent representative to the African Union, His Excellency Mr. Abdi Mahmoud Haibi stated that the theme chosen for this summit is justice for Africans and people of African descent through reparations.
On February 15 and 16, 2025. During this summit, the heads of state and government of the African Union will review a number of issues, such as the institutional reform of the African Union, the progress report on the African Continental Free Trade Area, and the state of peace and security in our country, to name just a few. I can first say that this 38th summit of the African Union heads of state and government is particularly significant for two reasons. First, for the African Union organization itself. As is customary every 4 years, the election of the new leadership of the African Union Commission will take place, which consists of the President, the Vice President, and 6 commissioners. Following the African Union's 2018 reform, the size of this leadership was reduced from 10 to 8 members. The regions from which the President and Vice President come do not have other representative within this leadership. The remaining 2 regions share the 6 commissioners, with 2 commissioners from each, ensuring perfect gender parity. That is, the leadership consists of 8 people, with 4 women and 4 men, as I mentioned earlier. This 38th summit is also particularly important for our country, the Republic of Djibouti, because as you know, our country is a candidate for the first time in history for the highest position of the Pan-African organization, namely the position of President of the African Union Commission. In this regard, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, who has allowed our Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, to stand as a candidate for the 10 positions. The Minister is a person of conviction, well versed in the challenges and realities of the African Union, and has a clear and determined vision for the future of the African Union.
And now His Excellency Mr. Radwan Abdullahi Bahdan is currently on a walking visit to Kuwait, invited by his counterpart, His Excellency Abdurrahman Badah Abdurrahman Al-Mutairi, the Minister of Information and Culture and the Minister of State for Youth Affairs, accompanied by the General Manager of Djibouti's RTD, Mr. Aden Abdi Jama, and the Djiboutian Ambassador to Kuwait, His Excellency Abdul Qadir Hussein Omar. The Minister held a walking meeting with the Kuwaiti side to strengthen bilateral cooperation between the two countries. The two ministers also discussed ways to enhance coordination of joint Arab actions in the fields of communication and information. During this visit, the director of Djibouti Radio Television proposed a collaboration project in the field of audiovisuals and experience exchange with Kuwait. On the sidelines, Minister Radwan Abdullahi Bahdan participated in the opening ceremony of Kuwait City, which was chosen as the Arab media capital for 2025 under the patronage of Emir of Kuwait. And now the University of Djibouti organized a grand ceremony today in honor of the International Day of Mathematics, a significant event that brought together students, teachers, and officials to celebrate this essential discipline for scientific and technological development. The day was marked by conferences, interactive workshops, and enriching discussions aimed at promoting the learning and application of mathematics across various fields. The President of the University of Djibouti, Dr. Jama Mohammed, and the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, both gave speeches highlighting the importance of mathematics in shaping young minds and its fundamental role in innovation and research. The event concluded with the representation of certificates to the participants, recognizing their commitment and excellence in their activities. Throughout the day, the celebration not only emphasized the fundamental role of mathematics, but also inspired young Djiboutians to make scientific challenges of tomorrow. Let's listen now to the president of the University of Djibouti, who emphasized that this celebration of the International Day of Mathematics is not only an opportunity to spotlight the crucial role mathematics plays in scientific and technological development.
Concours qui est dédié à l'ensemble de lycéens et des universitaires.
This is a competition dedicated to all high school and university students. This is the first edition, and we hope to expand it in the coming years to include middle schools and, why not, even primary schools. Because we know, Mr. Minister, that over there as well, there are very talented individuals, and the idea is to identify them and ensure that you too can become role models for future generation. Mathematics, in my opinion, is the foundation of engineering, science, technology, and all development. It is the mother of science. That is why we want to promote science and its branches, including computer science and other disciplines. But first and foremost, mathematics, because it is crucial for a nation's development to have young female and male mathematicians. So once again, congratulations on your participation, and be sure to prepare for next year, as it will be even more challenging. I also want to thank and congratulate the organizers, Dr. Liban and Dr. Yahya, who have put together this competition. And once again, thank you for your presence, Mr. Minister.
His Excellency Mustafa Mohammed Mahamoud took the floor to emphasize the importance of mathematics in shaping the education of young people and its fundamental role in driving our innovation and research.
Un grand honneur d'être présent ce matin.
It is a great honor for me to be here this morning among you on the International Mathematics Day. Seeing such brilliant minds as we just witnessed, Mr. President, is truly heartwarming. In a way, it is Djibouti's future in the making, a bright and better future. As you know very well, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, is always the first to instruct us to organize this kind of competitions because they allow us to quickly identify the best and the brightest, the geniuses who will lead tomorrow's country. So today I'm truly proud, and I would like to thank the President of the University for building these bridges, these connections between our high schools and the University of Djibouti. The University of Djibouti is truly the jewel of the Republic of Djibouti. All the top executives of our nation have come from this university. In fact, that was the very reason for its creation by the President of the Republic. Today we can proudly say that all the high-ranking officials of this country, whether teachers, senior administrators, or the doctors standing before us today who are teaching the students, have gratitude from the University of Djibouti. This is the pride of the country, the pride of the President of the Republic, and I am sure the pride of the Minister of Higher Education as well as the pride of the President of the University.
And now the Al Rahma complex in Balbala hosted yesterday afternoon a ceremony dedicated to the launch of the Kuwait Al Rahma 4 caravans, a pioneering humanitarian initiative implemented by the Al Rahma International.
The Al Rahma complex in Balbala hosted a ceremony yesterday afternoon to launch the Kuwait Al Rahma 4 caravans, a pioneering humanitarian initiative implemented by Al Rahma International Association in collaboration with Al Rahma Hospital in Djibouti. The event, which coincided with the celebration on Kuwait's National Day and Liberation Day, was attended by Mr. Muhammad Ali Muhammad, General Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Mr. Saoud Al Saidi, Kuwait's Ambassador to Djibouti, and Mr. Yusuf Al Tawili, Head of the Africa Sector at Al Rahma Global Association, Mr. Abdul Ghani Al Qureshi, Regional Director of the Al Rahma NGO, Dr. Muhammad Abbas, Director of Al Rahma Hospital, and Mr. Ilmi Yusuf Tahir, Project Director, and also Mr. Khalid Abu Haraj, Project Supervisor. The Kuwait Al Rahma 4 caravan provides free healthcare services to those in need, focusing on visual surgical interventions, particularly cleft lip and palate repairs, as well as cataract surgeries. These procedures will take place at Al Rahma Hospital. Additionally, general medical caravans will be deployed to rural regions to provide essential healthcare services to local populations. This project reflects the strong historical ties between Kuwait and Djibouti, with Kuwait playing a key role in supporting Djibouti's healthcare sector through its charitable institutions. Hundreds of patients are expected to benefit from these medical caravans, which are being carried out under the supervision of the Ministry of Health. This initiative will help alleviate suffering and improve the quality of life in regions where access to medical care is limited. During his speech at the event, Dr. Muhammad Abbas, Director of Al Rahma Hospital, expressed his gratitude on behalf of the hospital to the high-ranking officials in attendance. He also extended sincere thanks to the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, for his continued support of the hospital. Dr. Abbas highlighted that this year's project stands out for its diversity in specialized medical services. He emphasized that the Rahma Hospital remains committed to its humanitarian mission by treating patients who cannot afford medical care, organizing general and specialized medical caravans throughout the year, and covering a wide range of medical fields to serve the border community. This initiative reinforces Al Rahma Hospital's role in providing essential healthcare services to those most in need across Djibouti.
And now, as part of the inauguration of the Kuwait Al Rahma Medical Caravans, Mr. Yusuf Al Tawil, head of the Africa sector of Al Rahma International Association, reaffirmed the association's ongoing commitment to providing quality medical services to the most vulnerable communities. Mr. Al Tawil emphasized that these caravans are not just a medical initiative but carry a powerful humanitarian message embodying the core of values for generosity and solidarity. Mr. Mohammed Ali Mohammed, Secretary General of the Ministry of Health of Djibouti, emphasized that the humanitarian project of the Kuwait Al Rahma Medical Caravans embodies the spirit of generosity and commitment that characterizes the state of Kuwait, both at the governmental and grassroots levels. He highlighted the importance of charitable and humanitarian action, a guiding principle deeply rooted in Kuwait's domestic and foreign policy, driven by the wisdom and of its leaders and the tradition of Kuwaitis who are always ready to assist the most disadvantaged people around the world. At the end of the ceremony, the dignitaries present, including Mr. Mohammed Ali Mohammed, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Health, the Ambassador of Kuwait to Djibouti, His Excellency Mr. Saoud Al Saidi, Mr. Yusuf Al Tawil, Head of the Africa Sector of Al Rahma International, as well as the Regional Director of the Association, visited the ongoing construction site of the new Al Rahma Hospital building. This new facility, which is currently in its final stages of construction, will house a range of state-of-the-art infrastructure, including a modern laboratory, 3 renal dialysis units, a medicine warehouse, an intensive care unit, and intermediate care unit. The officials highlighted that this new infrastructure will significantly strengthen the medical services provided by Al Rahma Hospital. And now, as part of the third day of the mission aimed at fostering closer ties with the local population, a delegation led by the prefect of the Tajura region, Mohammed Hummet Abbas, accompanied by a strong military contingent, visited Asagela. The mission's goal is to strengthen the relationship between civil and military authorities and local population by providing targeted assistance while assessing their needs. Upon their arrival, the people of Asagela gave the delegation a particularly warm welcome, showing strong solidarity and a spirit of unity. During their visit, civil and military authorities held a meeting with the resident of Asagela. The aim of this gathering was to address the daily challenges faced by the community. The residents expressed their gratitude toward the Djiboutian Armed Forces unit stationed in Asagela, highlighting the constant support it provides to the local population. They also pointed out that the presence of these forces contributes to create an atmosphere of security and trust. The assistance provided by the Armed Forces unit includes portable water supply, village electrification, provision of essential first aid, road repair, transportation of humanitarian aid. In summary, this mission is a testament to the government's and the armed forces' commitment to making tangible improvements to the living condition of local population while strengthening the bonds between civilians and military personnel for a more prosperous, secure future. And now, we're still in the Tajura region, the White City. Since its creation in 1999, the Tajura Women's Association, AFT, has been working tirelessly for the empowerment and improvement of the living conditions of women in this region of Djibouti. Here is the report.
Since its creation in 1999, the Tajura Women's Association has worked tirelessly for the emancipation and improved living conditions of women in this region of Djibouti. A real pillar of local society, this association has over the years provided a space for expression and support for the women of Tajora, with particular emphasis on promoting craft, a sector rich in potential. Chaired by Hassan Hassantu, the association works tirelessly for the emancipation and improved living condition of women in this region of Djibouti. Under Hassantu leadership, the association has become a real pillar of local society, offering the women of Tajora a space for expression, support and development. Founded at the end of 1999 in the presence of the First Lady, Mrs. Khadra Mahmoud Hayat, the Women's Association has always fought on all fronts to improve the status of women in Tajora. The idea for the association was first mooted a few years ago in 1996 by a handful of pioneering women who, keen to provide for the socio-economic needs for their households, decided to put to good use with what they knew best, handicrafts. When AFT officially received its receipt in November 1999, it was on the first page of a new page of hope, a renewal embodied by the unifying impetus of the investiture of the new head of state, Mr. Ismail Margile, in April 1999. The president of AFT, Hassan Hassantu, said that this association's role goes far beyond mere material aid. We are working to bring about real social and economic change. Crafts in particular are at the heart of our project. By promoting ancestral skills, the association enables the women of Tajora not only to preserve their cultural heritage but also to generate income through unique creations such as traditional fabrics, or by recycling household plastic and reusing them in other forms such as useful objects and decorative items for the home, which are on sale in the shop. The AFT has also had a major influence on the international scene, acting as a perfect ambassador for our cultural heritage and folklore around the world, exporting our traditional skills to capital cities such as Tokyo, Paris, and more recently Brussels. The AFT is a pioneer in promoting Afar culture, training young girls in traditional.
And now for the international news, as I mentioned, on the Middle East, on the Egyptian side of the Rafah border crossing, bulldozers and vehicles carrying construction materials were ready to enter the Gaza Strip on Thursday.
Construction equipment ready to enter Gaza from Egypt. On the Egyptian side of the Rafah border crossing, bulldozers and vehicles carrying construction equipment are ready to enter the Gaza Strip on Thursday. Dozens of bulldozers and semi-trailers carrying construction equipment lined up on the Egyptian side of Rafah border crossing on Thursday, ready to enter the Gaza Strip. Al Qahira News added that trucks carrying camper vans were parked at the crossing ready to enter the Palestinian territory. Under an ongoing truce agreement, Rafah has been open to the evacuation of the wounded and sick, humanitarian aid and goods transit through the Karim Shalom crossing.
This is it for this 9 p.m. English News edition. Thank you for watching us and stay tuned for more on RTD.